Mutts fans, our next guest has 584 points. He's played over 1,100 games in the NHL regular season and over 100 in the playoffs. He's won a Mem Cup, a Stanley Cup, and a gold medal with Team Canada. And he's also the reigning and defending heavyweight champion of the National Hockey League. I had to do the wrestling one, Luch. Sorry, bud. But
Yeah.
we'd like to welcome Milan Lucic back to the 2 Months podcast. Luch, how's it going?
It's going good. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good, man. We're good. So
Yeah.
things are
You've been busy?
Been busy. Yeah, things have been real busy the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I kind of been everywhere, and yeah, it's but busy is good sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
It
you
is.
got that right. No, time flies by before you know it. You'll be at that game one, and a great ceremony and great ovation for you. But before I toss it over to Clay here, I just kind of see how things are going. I know it's been you've been kind of back in Boston here in the last few days, and some pictures, meeting some fans again, and seeing some old faces. How's that experience been for you?
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been great. It's something that I don't know if I ever thought ever really was going to happen, but it's I don't even know how to explain it. It's just cool, and I'm grateful that I get to be a Bruin again. Being back in Boston the other day was really cool, and yeah, I'm excited for the season to start and get things going and to where it's supposed to be again.
Yeah, no, it's I'm happy for you, man, because it kind of gives you that like you even said with John Scott, like you're far from done. Like this is no farewell tour. Like it's just the opportunity came at the right time to go back to a place that means a lot to you. So I'm just happy that you get to experience that because in life sometimes we don't get those second chances to get that opportunity. And the fact that it's the 100th season and you're back with some of the guys that you're really close with. And I think what's also cool too is like like you got your kids are older now, and like all these other guys that are on the team when you won a cup, like they have kids too, and they're all older. Like how cool is that experience going to be? Because I know when you're with the Flames, like you and your wife did such a great job of bringing everyone together, and I know that's probably going to be the same thing here again too.
Yeah, for sure. And one of the things that I said was you know even though my two older kids they're born in Boston, they don't really remember me as a Bruin.
Yeah,
They were two and a newborn, so all they really remember me is as an Oiler and a Flame, more so a Flame than anything. So to be able to be a Bruin again in front of my kids is something that's going to be really special and really cool. But yeah, just like you said, always been one of those guys that to bring teammates together, bring families together. One of the things that I did this last past season was my kids did come out to Boston to watch me play, but it'll be even more special to be a Bruin now for them to come watch me play. And yeah, it's funny, even though most people remember me and know me as a Bruin, it has been 8 years. It's been a long time, and there's only two guys on the team that I played with before, with Pasternak and Marchand. So to be able to reunite with them is going to be pretty awesome. I know I played with Derek Forbert. I played with him on the Kings and the Flames,
yeah.
so I get to reunite with him as well. But yeah, just the whole thing is something to look forward to, and I'm excited to share that with my family.
Nice, nice. I know one of the questions that Clay has for you is going to kind of tie into the question here, and that's with the World Championship. But would you say like maybe going to Calgary, kind of in a way was a good thing for your career, and how much the fans embraced you there? I'm not saying the fans did embrace you in Edmonton, but I know that you talked about at the end of the year the contract was heavy on you, and but the fact that you were, the player you were, the people that you brought in, you're probably one of the biggest personalities in the game. We'll get into that too. But talk about your time in Calgary and maybe what the Flames fans did, the organization, your teammates kind of giving you that maybe juice again that kind of tied into going playing for Team Canada too.
Yeah, it was great. Like you said, the fans were great. The city was great. The organization was great. I can't, say enough about the teammates that I had in Calgary. They were all really awesome. I got along with all of them, and we had a good time together with all the guys that we had together. But yeah, it was great. I mean, that transition to being a Flame and the way it motivated me and all that type of stuff. I mean, anyone that came to a game, it was really funny. I wouldn't even touch the puck. I'd be going in on a
Yeah.
forecheck, and the fans would be going Lou and all that type of stuff. But so, they did really embrace me, and I enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun, and it got me going again. And I think I was at a low point at one point when I was there, but that, like I said, the team and everyone kind of turned me around. So yeah, it was a good experience, and I'm glad I got to experience it. And it's somewhere that I'm always going to be thankful for, because I did experience a lot, being a Flame.
Nice, nice. Clay, I'll toss the puck over to you there, bud.
Yeah, no, I mean, you end the season in Calgary. Obviously, there's disappointment and whatnot, but then do you get the call for the World Championships, or how does that come about? And then speak about just the tournament itself, and then obviously winning.
Yeah, you know what? I actually reached out to Doug Armstrong and the management team of Team Canada, because
Really?
I'd never been before. And yeah, once I found out that Uyghur and Toffoli were gonna go, I was like, oh, you know what? I think it'd be pretty cool to go as well. And I didn't really have much going on. And like I said, as you guys know, I'm a hockey guy, so it's something that I wanted to experience. And I still felt, with the disappointment of the season, I still felt like I had juice left in the tank. I still felt like, I still wanted to play and do something, and I wasn't ready to go into off-season mode and to start working out. I wanted to continue to play
Yeah.
hockey, and yeah, so I reached out to Doug Armstrong and Team Canada and to see if they had a spot for me. And you know what? It was honestly, it was a great experience. Team Canada was first class with how they treated us as players, and how they treated our families when they came to join us, and how they made that a whole experience. We had a 5-day camp in Budapest. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to go as well. Not, obviously you're there to go play hockey, but it's cool to see other cities and experience other things, along with the hockey. So, we got to have a 5-day training camp in Budapest. Then we were able to go to Riga, Latvia, and Riga itself is a really great city. I recommend going to visit it if no one's been. And yeah, you know what? Just being a part of a group where a lot of people called us maybe the worst Team Canada ever assembled.
Yeah, I heard that.
Uh, yeah, so we came together as a team. We became a pretty tight group. Everyone really enjoyed being around each other, and then we got better and better and better as the tournament went on, and then when we went over to Finland for the championship games, we just got better every game. So and obviously, me talking about how great the experience was. Obviously, uh, I could say that now because we did win and we won the gold medal.
Yeah.
So
It's easy every time. Yeah.
yeah, it's easy. And then you know what, to be able to experience that, now, and I go back to, now that I have older kids and all that type of stuff, and when I won a Stanley Cup, I didn't even have kids, and to a lot of people in North America, the World Championships doesn't really mean a lot. But when you're in Europe and you see what it means to those countries and those players, it's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy, and to them, it means more than the Stanley Cup. I mean, I'm sure you guys all saw, with Latvia winning the bronze medal. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole country shut down for it
Yeah.
because it was such a big deal. And even being, even carrying the trophy through the Finnish airport in Helsinki, people were going crazy for it. Like I was like, I felt like I was carrying around the Stanley Cup. That's how crazy the people over there were going for it. And yeah, just to be able to experience that and add that to the resume. I'm really thankful and grateful that I got to do that all.
You played so Adam Fantilli. I watched him in the draft, and as guys are getting drafted, he's walking up and he's giving them a high five. He's looks genuinely happy for the kids. What kind of kid is he? I mean,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
great kid, really great kid,
yeah,
really great family. Yeah, it was it was pretty crazy to think about that I was playing with a kid that's born in 2005.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a really great talent. He's
yeah.
going to be a great player. There's a reason why he went third overall. It was cool to meet his parents. His parents were great.
Awesome.
I think I heard something that because it's funny. His dad is a big time Bruins fan, and I know he's done interviews talking about how he watched me his whole life because his dad was a big time Bruins fan, and I think I heard something that when we play against them, the Bruins in Columbus, he's going to be pulling out his 17 Bruins jersey for that game. He's
That's
going to put
awesome.
his Fantilli jersey on the shelf, which I think is pretty funny. But no, you know what? He's a great kid. He's a great guy, and he's going to be a really great player in the NHL.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I got one last one. Are you getting 17 in Boston? I think you've already.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes,
Good.
yes.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so we get into the kind of the fun stuff, Luch. Obviously everything's fun, but one of the cool things I like, you love your heritage so much from your Serbian heritage, and also as you know, there's a lot of great athletes around the world, and Joker just won the championship in the NBA. How cool is it to kind of follow some of these other athletes that share this the same country as you and your family?
Yeah, I think maybe right now it's kind of a peak for Serbian athletes with how Jokic is kind of taking over the NBA. And there's a lot of other great NBA players, yeah, that are from the Serbian descent, and then you have Djokovic doing what he's doing. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see because it's not a big population, it's not a big country, but yet we're still finding ways to be great athletes and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's for me, it's great because I get bragging rights and get
Yeah,
to win a lot of bets, betting against people because, I always,
inside track.
now I catch myself being a Denver fan where all, back in the day in the early 2000s, everyone was a Sacramento Kings fan because of Vlade Divac and Pedro Stojakovic and stuff like that. And obviously with, like I said, with what Djokovic is doing with tennis over the last, 10, 15 years, it's pretty amazing. So, like I said, I've been fortunate enough to win some bets because I've been I've been following those guys, and it's cool to see them do more. I know Djokovic plays. He's at Wimbledon right now, and we'll see if he just continues to add to the list as far as his resume goes.
Yeah, no, it'll be it's fun to see. And one of the other kind of funny things, I was golfing with Matt Benning the other day, your former teammate in Edmonton, and he said that there's many people that he's met in his life, but he doesn't know if he's met anyone that knows so much about other sports and about the NHL itself, but just the whole thing. He's like, this guy can name the last 25 Super Bowl champions, winners or losers. Where does that like love come from with you, man? Because it seems like it's pretty cool that you got a good repertoire, and you got a good memory of like following these other sports and the winning and losing and the data, the history, and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I've always been good at and remember. It's not like I sit behind a computer and study all these things. I just watch when it's on TV, especially when it's championship games. And um, you know, honestly, the only thing I really look at is the score app to check up scores and keep up to date with all that type of stuff. Like, I'm not a guy that's like crazy on Twitter or any of that type of stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just have a memory, I guess, when it come to sports. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I wish I had that memory when it came to school because
Yeah.
because I wasn't great at like biology and social studies and all that type of stuff. I wish I had that when I was in school, but to be honest, I don't know. I just always had a love for sports. Always loved playing sports. I still play sports. Yeah, so it's just one of those things, I guess, that I've always had. And I've always been an outgoing vocal guy, and I love having conversations too. Like, when I come to the rink, I'll be like, "Hey, did you guys see this or did you guys see that?" And just talking about it. So I guess that's where it all comes from.
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of get back a little bit of hockey here, going back to Boston, and can you we when we had you on before, and we had Cameron Hughes on, and he played a little bit, and then our Petro too, who was with the Providence Bruins, but the culture it has, because it just says a lot to me. Like, I know Torrey's Croup name came up in some trade talks about the draft, and the one thing he kind of was said that the only place he might go back to or want to go back to is Boston. And one of the cool things that I think, and Johnny Boychuk really well, and I was talking the other day too, and he wants me to ask you a funny question, so I'll get to that in a second. But just talk about like the cool, what it means in Boston, the culture. Like, why is it so good? Why is it a place that people want to go back to? Because it also seems like maybe the Islanders are that kind of place too. But talk about Boston and the heritage, the history, and why you guys love just going back there.
Well, I think it's more than just hockey. I think it's just being an athlete in Boston in general, whether it's the Bruins or the Red Sox or the Celtics or Patriots. I think all of it just has a history, and there's just something about being an athlete in Boston and what it means, and the way that the fans and the people embrace you while you're while you are an athlete in Boston. And it's just something, like I said, all the teams have a history. The Bruins, their original 16, first professional team, in America. Now the first team to hit 100 years. It's their century season. Yeah, it's just something about it. And I mean, it's just the arena, it's the colors, it's wearing the spoke bee and being a Bruin and all that type of stuff. And it's just, I guess it's really hard to explain because until you experience it, you don't really know how to explain it. And you gotta remember, like, my generation that I was a part of. I was a part of a team that was a part of a team that was you know where all four teams were champions.
Yeah,
We experienced, the Red Sox were winning, the Celtics won the championship, the Patriots were winning championships, and we won a championship. So to be a part of all that, it's just something that's really cool. I know all those fans are pretty spoiled that they got to experience what they've experienced in the last, whatever, 20 years. But like I said, it's just something that it's hard to explain, but you just appreciate it so much. And it's just, as an athlete, when you dream of being a professional athlete, like, and you get to do it on one of those teams in Boston, it's just it's just something you always dream of as a kid. And like I said, to be able to do it again is something that I'm really grateful for. And I hope this time around it's as good as it was last time.
yeah. I'm hoping so too, for a little part, because I'm a Leaf fan, Luch. So like, you crushed my hopes many times as a Bruins
Yeah.
fan, but and so we got Ryan. There's Ryan Reeves on the other side, and there's some great tough players that just kind of made their way back. Because you were talking with John Scott, at one couple of years it's West, and a couple of years it's out East. But talk about like the personality in the game. Do you think the NHL can grow up the personalities more? Because like, one of the cool things with you, and good friends with Elliot Friedman, and one of the things him and I always talk about is your walk-ins, and how cool they are. And I think that's kind of cool for the game, good personalities. I know you love them, but talk about like maybe how the game can grow the personalities, because you're one. Obviously Ryan Reeves is one. There's many in the game, and even Marchand's one, with when he wants to go on Twitter and have a little fun when he's bored. But how the talk about that a bit if you can.
Yeah, and you know what, with Marshy too, I think him winning what's it, the TNT guy of the
Mr.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. TNT. You know what? But that's good. Like
yeah,
they're doing interviews with guys as they're warming up and all that type of stuff. And for myself, I don't know. I was just messing around, having some fun, and my wife, I got to give her the credit. She was the one that got me the jacket, and
yeah.
it was kind of like a Reggie Dunlop type of thing. And then it was actually a couple of the guys that were like, "Oh, you should do that with like a mock neck or a turtleneck." And then I
Yeah.
did that, and yeah, I don't know. It's just having some fun, because what's it all for if you can't have some fun? And
Yeah.
and there's like you guys said, I think there are some really good personalities. Uh, could we see more of it? Probably. Uh, I think there are a lot of guys that have some good swag and have some good style in the league. Can it be promoted more? Maybe, yeah. Like I said, with the whole Mr. TNT stuff, I think TNT has done a good job in trying to, bring out some personality in the game. So, I think it'll be something that's going to be talked about and probably, pushed upon more so moving forward. And we'll see what direction it goes in.
Yeah. So two more before we get you out of here. It's something Halloween, man. Luch, I remember you and Manj posted the picture with Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell, and then I took it. I took it from your Twitter account, posted on our podcast account, and Chris Kattan liked it and shared it and all that. How kind of cool is that to kind of see him kind of support what you guys wore for Halloween? Like that's kind of cool. I thought. So,
Yeah, it was cool. And you know what, me and Manj, during COVID, we hung out a lot because we lived close together. We go to each other's houses and all that type of stuff. And a lot of the times we'd get bored and we would just put on Night at the Roxbury. I think we
yeah,
watched it probably 15, 20 times. And then, with the last Halloween party, we were Doug and Steve. So it was pretty cool to see, pretty cool that it got to him. And yeah, it was nice to be able, to do that costume with Madge.
yeah. When I texted you, and I was like, "Look at man, he sent some back." You're like, "No way."
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
cool.
fun. So
Yeah.
we'll finish up on this. Your best friend, another brother. I know you got two other brothers, but you have another brother, and Johnny Boychuk. And he sent me a text. I was like, "I got Luch coming on. Any funny questions?" He goes, "Just ask him about the times we roomed together earlier on in his career."
Oh man.
There's probably some pretty good stories. Maybe you got one good one before we can get you out of here because the guy's a beauty, and I'm happy what he's doing with Lou Lamorello now on the island too. But anything about any funny story you
Yeah.
got about?
Well, yeah, Johnny's great. We were friends right from the first time we met each other. And it was funny. So it was our first road game together. It was my third year, his first year in Boston, and we ended up being roommates. And a lot of people might not know, but Johnny loves a nice practical joke. And
Oh yeah,
so you know, we're taking our pregame nap, and I'm trying to be a good guy, go to use the washroom, and I'm being quiet and everything. And as I'm walking back, Johnny hid between the beds, and then he jumps out in my face and goes boo. And honestly, I almost like knocked him out because he scared the hell out of me. And that's just Johnny being Johnny.
yeah,
And then he gives out one of his little quirky laughs and goes and all that type of stuff. And yeah, it's one of those things that was kind of me and Johnny being roommates that year was such a great thing. Like you said, we're still best friends, and he's one of my brothers and all that type of stuff. But yeah, he got me with one of those practical jokes right off the get go before we really knew each other, and I guess that was a good way to break the ice. But yeah,
yeah.
he's one of those practical jokers. Even though I love a good joke, I'm not one of those guys that goes out of my way to get guys with practical jokes. But that was what he did to me early on, and yeah, we've been really good friends ever since.
That's awesome. It's a good way to end it. Luch, thanks for joining us on episode 200 here. Got an interview with Lanny McDonald that's going to be tagged to it too, and I think Matt Benning's going to chime in a little bit. But thanks for helping us out along the way and getting us some guests and just good conversations. And we love just posting about you, man, on the podcast account. It gets the most amount of likes, so this obviously said something about the great career you had, and keep going. And Clay, you have anything to add before we sign out?
No, Milan, to you and your family, enjoy the rest of the summer. Try to get some downtime, and all the best. Best of luck to you guys and the Bruins coming up this year.
All right. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.